Welcome back to Dicey Shores, where RPG dice determine my path to progressing through brighter shores. It is the end of April, as suggested by the patch notes that I just got, just as I was logging in. And we'll get into where the game is at right now, because there has been quite a bit of change since the last time I recorded. And yes, I will talk about my absolute shame from last episode. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, go back, watch it, roast me. I definitely deserve it. But yeah, I just wanted to give a glance at the spreadsheet at the top of today's episode. So we are currently on our Fallen Monument task, the first one there, because we hit the forager level that we needed. So I did leave myself this ugly little note about the KP that I have to spend, and I came up with this literally right before I started recording today. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna track how many KP I have in the skills here under this little KP column. I haven't added any conditional formatting like I have here yet, but I think what I'm going to do is when I tick something on the progression tracker, or profession tracker rather, when this box is ticked, it's going to look for this being at 1. And if it's not, it's going to highlight it in red similar to this, just so we could see right up on here what we have to spend KP on, and then I'll just go in, I'll add it, and it'll clear out like normal. That's the working concept. But enough about that. We're going to pop into the game, so we can see a couple of different bug fixes here. The Easter event's officially over, so rip to the idea that maybe I would go back and do the Easter event. I don't think it would have been possible. Given the accounts, or given the Easter event kind of requiring, oh, I was over here just grabbing a thumbnail. Given the event kind of requiring certain rooms to be unlocked that I just don't think we have access to yet. Oh, that's so cool. I was like, what the hell is that up there? That kind of brings me to one of my talking points right off rip, is we got a new quest since the last time that I recorded. It's not currently in my goal-ins, so I will have to do that, but I'm fairly confident that I'm not going to hit the quest requirements in this episode. Given that I believe one of them is 43 Forager, and I am nowhere near that. But, yeah. Speaking of Forager, well, I guess Forager wasn't really the crux of what happened last time. So, I deeply overcomplicated what I need to do when I'm rolling, and whoop. That was weird. Uh-oh. Wait, I know what's happening. I will be right back. This game really does not like when my VPN is connected. I was watching anime while I was grinding something and on the main. I was catching up on the old One Piece, and by catching up I mean still really behind. But yeah, whoa, wait. Oh, I thought that was where a monument piece was. I was like, I've never, ever harvested these. How is it already gone? So yeah, last episode. Here's the deal. I confused myself so badly with the way that I was trying to exclude alchemy, which we're currently soft locked out of because of Forager. What I said, and then literally not even a minute later already screwed up, is on the D8, a 1 through 7 was going to be the roll table. So the idea being 1 at combat, 2, 3, 4, skip alchemist, 5, 6, 7, and then an 8 would be a reroll. And then I immediately rolled an 8, counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and did carpentry. So immediately broke my own rule. But then, weirdly enough, later, I did it right, and I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Gatherer. So I don't know what the hell happened. And then I rolled an 8, and I did it wrong again. So that led me, after cringing so hard during editing, to realize, oh, I don't need to have 8 be the reroll. I just need 5 to be the reroll. This is going to be an 8-sided die no matter what. So I'm very sorry that I confused my dumb little brain. Won't happen again. I promise I was not just like weighing my rolls toward the skills I wanted to train. It just so happened to work out that it was all Hope Forest. And it looked really goofy. So it was pretty brutal to watch it happen in editing. So hopefully you survived the episode, and feel free to roast me about that. I mean, that's on me. It's hard out here rolling dice, you know. My brain don't work so good sometimes. But hey, hopefully it was an enjoyable episode nonetheless. A lot of folks saying that they love the vibes, the positivity, the coziness, you know, the chill vibes. That's what I'm here to bring. So I really appreciate you for hanging out and chatting with me in the comments. Had a lot of like really good conversations about kind of like the state of the game. Because, you know, it's not perfect, and I've said that before. And I know that there are people on the subreddit that are like toxically positive about the game, and I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to do here, and I don't think that we're cultivating that sort of toxic positivity. At least I hope not. That all being said, well, I'm gonna have to avoid the school, but that all being said, we're about to get our first KP, which is absolutely massive, because that means we can get our first unlock and then work toward, because we're not gonna hit a level 20 in any other skill anytime soon. We can actually work toward getting some passive silver on the account, which will be nice. So there it is, our boy the street louse. He is unlocked. So what's the next one? 26 is the next one. Okay. So yeah, we've got a ways to go before we have to spend another KP on passive. So I think what I'll end up doing is, where is the street louse? The passage. At some point, probably on the next combat grind, I'll just grab that gallery card or something. I'll grab the gallery card eventually. When I'm in the area. Right now, I need to remember how many monument pieces I need for this. I probably should have checked this up top. Oh, I just talked to her. Hello. What is going on? The monument to Kryn. And then I can sell. Oh, okay, great. 48. Cool. I know they get into like the 300s over here, so I wasn't sure. Oh, it would have been 2 inventories if I didn't have this rogue bell plant. That's okay. But yeah, cool. Starting strong on our monument piece grind. We will get a forager level here, which we can't really avoid. But like we said last time, we're going to treat these monument tasks like our quests, where we are inevitably going to get experience off grind that we can't avoid. And that's just the nature of it. But yeah, speaking of quests, new quest, and I actually like really love the potion belt reward. It's massive for the way that I play on my main. I do wish it was there the whole time, because there are so many times that like a loop that would perfectly fill my inventory would be thrown off by the fact that I always have a potion in this inventory slot. But that being said, I mean, I know that the game is going to evolve over time. It's early access. Like, I'm not going to begrudge them for something like that, like a quality of life thing that wasn't there on launch. I love that it continues the trend of, I feel like every quest, or at least most quests, have a meaningful quest reward. Like, oftentimes, again, comparing it to RuneScape, it's always going to be compared to RuneScape, unfortunately. There are so many quests that you just bum rush for like experience, like Waterfall Quest. You're going for the 30s in attack and strength. I think it's 30. There's certain things that you're always going to go for, like the Mage Cape and Mage Arena, the God Cape rather. Trying to think of another one. The Goldsmith Gauntlets are another good one. Like, there are always going to be quests that people do just for the reward, but there's so many quests in the game that really just don't have a meaningful reward. And I'm not expecting every single quest in Brighter Shores to have a meaningful reward, but I feel like the quests that we do have, like the Obelisk, is sort of a story quest. I mean, it's you know, enchanting. It unlocks enchanting. And that's pretty massive. Lost Shipment. What does Lost Shipment unlock? Is that the one? Oop, zoned out. It's either Lost Shipment or Brandoff Inheritance that unlocks the expanded inventory in the bank for the Quartermaster. I know Spider's Nest obviously unlocks the Storage Rift, which is huge. Forgotten Things unlocks the Northern Teleport and Hope Forest. Like, most of the quests have some sort of meaningful reward to them, which I think is really good. Yes, Herbalist Hurdle is short, for sure. But at the very least, the Potion Belt is an absolute game changer. The way it's set up on my main right now, it's just episode 2 experience, 3 experience, and 4 experience. Because I'm near enough to base 200s in Hopeport that I'm mostly focusing, like right now I'm passively, my Teams on my work laptop when I still haven't shut it down. I'm logged off of work, but I left it sitting there, so hopefully that's not too disruptive. What was I saying? But yeah, I'm passively using my KP toward Merchant right now, just to get like quest requirements for the side quests. But after that, I think I'll probably just, I'll use all the different potions to get hopefully like base 200s while I'm also grinding those skills. Because I like to switch around like between like grinding the skill I'm working on and just KPing it while I'm grinding another skill. Just, you know, keeps it fresh while I'm watching shows and YouTube videos. But no, overall, love the new quest. Really love that they seem to be focusing on fleshing out the quest list while they work on episode 5, so that like what's already in the game feels a little bit more beefy. Based on the weekly leak, what was it, the 3rd week where they teased the Hope Forest or the Hopeport 6 quest, where they're talking about a, like, you can see, I think in one of the pictures you can see a portal stone, so there is likely going to be a Northern Hopeport teleport over here, which will be great. Oh wow, and we are just, I am fully on autopilot. We just finished stage 1 of the monument. Hell yeah. So if we go on over to our sheet, first of all, we will input our 1 KP. We'll just tick off the forager level that we got, and we will mark that as complete. So now with that, it is time to roll, which I don't believe I did last time. I will double check just to make sure that I am not flubbing any further with the rolling of the dice. Okay, past me tells me that I did not roll, so it's dice cam time. So we're going back to the D8. Well, I guess we never left with the D8, but it should be stated that from this point forward, we're always going to be rolling on the D8 until we get to Mine of Mantabon, and then we'll have to pivot to the D12, I think. Yeah, that's how math works. So currently still soft locked out of alchemy, so we will re-roll on a 5. On a 5, past Rob, future Rob, present Rob. On a 5, we re-roll. Okay. Hey, it's a 1. We don't have to re-roll. That's back to combat. Which is back to... I actually don't even remember what we were fighting. Oh, it was a new mob. We are going to be fighting outlaws in the forest. Awesome. Somebody in the Discord, I just happened to be in there. I forget what chat I was in, but I just happened to be in there, and somebody was talking about queued actions, and they suggested like let's see if I can pull it up quickly. Oh, I also realized how low my master volume is. Where is it? Queue first action as your middle mouse button. Absolute game changer. Because if I'm not fully paying attention, I will hold down caps instead of shift on my keyboard, and then I'll accidentally left click on something and break my queue. But like, just middle mouse one clicking that. I mean, I know you can't see that I did that, but yeah, just middle mouse clicking for that. Absolute game changer. Just such a good, like, I love the queued action system in general, and then that made it even better. So yeah, we got a couple of these. Oh, they have ranged. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't even bother with range in that case. But yeah, we will check back in when we have 22 combat, or if I get a crazy drop. So I've just noticed that I've gotten a guard sword, guard pulled leather gloves, and I'm imagining that that's because I haven't chosen a class. I'm still getting guard armor. I wonder how does the main quest prevent you from moving on if you haven't no, yeah, you have to select a faction to move on, don't you? I was gonna say, how high up can you grind guard? Because I know there are people that are playing with factionless characters, so I guess that's primarily free to play, or an all. I mean, or you just really support the game and it's your main, and you feel like subscribing. But yeah, like that's got to be people that just are totally fine with not progressing past episode 2, right? Unless you can. I actually don't know if you can progress with that. I'm pretty sure it's a main quest step. I mean, we'll find out, because I just remembered that like this level is what's keeping us from progressing in the main quest. So we will be going back to fight that stag after we've beaten up a couple of randos in the woods. I am really feeling the level 20 jump, though. I feel like 20 is the first wall with experience that you hit, where you kind of progression slows a bit. Like the first 20 levels seem to be very quick, and then progression slows, and then I don't know where all the walls are. I just know that post 200 passives become so OP. I wonder if the same goes for combat, because combat's got like literal thousands of levels. So what, like, how do those walls work? I mean, I have the technology. I could go to the wiki and look it up, but like, damn. Just got another epic. This time, a ranged weapon, which doesn't really help us in this situation because I'm not using ranged, but God, that's going to be great for a while. That'll lend us to some really strong starts in combat. Now, I know the goblins in Hopeport both attack and are immune to Infernae. I don't know if the goblins here do. /R. So I'm sure we'll find out. Ooh, another KP. So, this will also go right into our wallet. Oh, I feel dirty doing that. Like, I never, ever intentionally do that on my main, but like on this account, like, this is everything. Like, my God. We are a ways away from being comfortable with our money. Especially with, and I think I've said this, 2 levels away from having to buy another fishing spear. Let alone anything else that we need to buy for any of the other skills. I haven't really checked on that yet, but oh, and that's us done with it. Wow, everything happened back to back to back there. That's us done with the combat grind. Awesome. So that takes us back to the spreadsheet. That takes us over here to check that off. And look at that. We are back to hide and seek. So no new rolling. This is after an episode with extremely contentious rolling, through no fault of anybody but myself. We are back not really rolling. Like, we had a combat roll in between a Goland and a quest, so I'm happy with that. It's less rolling dice and more, hey, this is nice. I don't know. Is that anything? Probably not. Right. Let's get into the stag fight. Oh, wow. Look at all these folks doing wood cutting. Oh, that's got to be the wood cutting forager loop that. All right. Yeah. So it is still. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Okay. So is the corruption just in general immune to the thing that we just got a really good weapon for? That's unfortunate. Let's switch back to the old one just so we can do a little bit of ranged. And it is good to see that this stayed at level 22. It did not scale. I was worried that it would scale with our Hope Forest combat unlocks, but supposedly not. Ooh, this is looking like a potion situation. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. That was a waste of a potion. This is definitely a loss. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. This might be a little bit of an uphill battle here, and neither of these, that's unfortunate, neither of these are type damage. So, whoops. I forgot this room was here. The brand new room. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky. There's gonna be a fair bit of hitting our head against the wall, and the good/bad thing, depending on how you want to look at it, is unlike something like RuneScape, where you're getting combat experience every time you land a hit, with the exception, I guess RuneScape stopped doing that with certain, like, they prevent experience on certain quest bosses. Unlike that, you don't get the experience until the fight's over. So I'm not even gaining anything from this. I am strictly just losing over and over again in situations like that. I mean, hopefully it's not over and over again. Hopefully we get it second try here. But I'm not holding my breath. That was very close, but we did do it second try, and I feel good about that. What hast thou done? Bro, I saved you. Oh, maybe what had the stag done? Don't know. It's not my fault, though. We must try. It might be overcast, but it's not that dark. Oh man, dude, I love that I can go super aggro. Oh, look at the bunny. Love that I can go super aggro. Like, who says it's your forest, bruh? Oh shit. Oh, this is the pooling. Okay, so straight north as the crow flies. So this is, we need to look for the orange lilies, I believe. Yeah, oh, excuse me, orange irises. So we need to go look for the orange irises, and this is going to be, wow, this is a big episode today, because we're gonna finally roll for our class, which I've said before that I'm not super stoked about, just from a standpoint of I really want to be a cryo knight. I think the pun in the name lends itself very well to a cryo knight, but in a series where the entire premise is about rolling, I would be remiss if I did not leave this up to chance, like I leave everything else in this series up to chance. It would be wrong. I feel like if people don't roast me for my mistake last episode, that they would roast me for not rolling on my class. I think ice would be obviously the best case scenario. I don't think I'm going the right way. This feels... Wait, go north as the crow flies. Where was the dryad glade? Oh yeah, this is for sure not the right way. That's where the bear is, I think. Spoilers, there's a bear eventually. Yeah, this would, like, at the very least, I don't want to be a hammer mage because that's what I am on my main. I would like to have one of the other two classes. Okay, we've got our irises. We've got the leaf. Let's find out who we are going to become. Take me to the pooling. Okay. So, I'm gonna, while this plays, I'm gonna go grab the D6. Right. Okay. What are we going to be locked into for the foreseeable? I think even if they ever introduce a way to change your class, I'm never going to change my class because, again, it defeats the purpose. It's like, I want to lock in based on the dice. Who am I? Who is Roland dice? Okay. One or a two, we're a cryo knight. 3 or a 4, we're a guardian. 5 or a 6, we're a hammer mage. It all comes down to this, baby. You know, a good content creator would milk this until the next episode, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, we want a 1 or a 2. We want a 1 or a 2. Oh my god. The dice tell their story, and the story is we are a cryo knight, baby. Roland dice. I am absolutely sure. Roland Ice gets the ice power. I am so happy. This is exactly what I wanted for the series. I like, when I came up with this concept, I was like, I'm going to name my guy Roland Dice. He's going to be a cryo knight, and he's only going to roll dice to skill. Like, I am so happy. Yes, dude. Okay. The Dryad and I are looking for the source of corruption somewhere in the northeast of Hope Forest. Wow, that was all I cared about. I forgot that there was actually a quest to do. That's great. So I'm gonna see if I can breeze through this quest. I don't really have much else to say about that. Like, that was perfect. Like, it's funny because, like, at the time of recording, typical me, I don't have much to say, so I just start rambling, and immediately have something to say. at the start of, or at the time of recording, Settled, who, if you're familiar with him, is an amazing OSRS creator, just wrapped up his most recent series. And he talks about, and I won't spoil it. Oh yeah, this is Road to Nowhere much. Yeah, forget what we're doing. We go this way. So we want this northeast. He talks about kind of like he, as a storyteller, like he wants to have the perfect ending. He wants to, etc. And like kind of coming to terms with that. And again, I won't spoil anything that happens, but it is a really like interesting conversation. And like ultimately the way that the series ended, like, is a perfect ending because like it's authentic, you know what I mean? And so shades. So like in that same vein, when I thought about, oh, as much as I want to be a Cryo Knight, I think the perfect thing for the series, like for the story, is to roll for it, because that's what I do for everything else. Like, of course I roll for it. Like, it would be silly not to. So, again, I got to have my cake and eat it too. I think I'm using that phrase correctly. Who knows? Okay, wait, the northeast. Is there something here? I forget how this quest goes. Invoke. Dryad does not respond. Okay. This is not where I want to go. Oh, I think I'm looking for the actual, like, crystal at this point. I'm getting ahead of myself. I know that after this point, you need to grab basically the whole deal is, like, in order to cleanse the corruption, you need to find objects of natural magics, basically. So, the objects of natural magics, I don't know that I need them yet. I need to go learn that I need them, and then I can collect the objects of natural magics. There it is. Oh, Ripperoni, my boy. We get the treasure. Oh no, what's this guy's level? Hold up. Yeah, you monster. What have you done? Okay, also level 22. We are allowed to continue this, assuming we don't get our ass kicked by him, which is absolutely happening. I'm gonna immune, and I'm gonna post up with a ranged attack here. Again, I'm assuming he's immune to, if it said, I did not see it. I'm assuming he's immune to Infernae, given that that's what, yeah. Corruption definitely seems to be Infernae. I don't know if that was outright said in some of the dialogue, but that seems to be the trend. I also love, like, the weird little auto-tune that corrupted enemies have. It is very funny. He did go absolutely crazy. How do we cure a crystal? So yeah, we need to go find a little beetle. I believe there's like glowing beetles. Yeah, there we go. Behold, beetles. Perfect. Got a little guy. Got another little guy. I don't know if you guys can hear system sounds, but that was my wife telling me that dinner is ready in 20. So it sounds like I'm going to have to wrap this up very soon. Okay. Use them on the giant crystal. Sorry, I'm thinking with my stomach now. It's probably all the apples in my inventory as well. Azarath Metreon Synthos is what I read. Like, if you're a Teen Titans fan. It's not at all what the Dryad said, but that's all I thought of. I saw 3 magical words. Any idea where I should look? Not entirely. Closest magic. Nice hidden beyond Tangled Briar. Ooh, am I gonna need... Is there like a soft wood cutting requirement to get to the Tangled Briar? I'm might have to do some research on that. That actually might be a good place to end this episode. In front of this cool crystal that I will definitely remember to grab a thumbnail of. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to use for the thumbnail. Probably this. I actually like this. Yeah, that's a nice shot. Enjoy the thumbnail. And yeah, so thanks for hanging out. We made some pretty solid progress. We're still firmly in the hide and seek quest, but soon enough we will move through some of these main quest goals and we will be back to rolling dice. So thanks for hanging out, and yeah, until next time, catch you later and have a good one.